What's up, YouTube? I told you guys we would be back with some more traditional bow hunting content, and tonight I'm going to be putting on my string silencers. I don't know exactly what that process is going to look like. I've never done it. I've seen a couple different methods, so I'm going to go with what I think is maybe the best one or the easiest one to start out with. Before we do that though, I'm going to send a handful of arrows down range and hopefully be able to tell, how it sounds before and then how it sounds after. I don't know if my mic will pick up on that super well, but we're going to try it out. So I'm going to send half a dozen arrows down range, see how the bow sounds, and then we'll do that exact same thing afterwards. So stay tuned. I think I'm going to do this without my quiver on as well, just so there's minimal or less, vibration. So we're going to pop the quiver off too, and we'll do that afterwards as well, just to make sure, like I said, we're staying kind of consistent with our testing. Okay. It's a pretty darn good group too. Granted, we're at 10 yards, but it was a darn good group. That was 4 arrows. I'm actually gonna pull those 4 and put the mic on my bow, or at least try, and then we'll do that same thing afterwards. All right, we're gonna try this. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm gonna try to put this mic on my bow. We might not be doing this. So I'm gonna retract what I just said, and we're not gonna put it on my bow. Number one, don't think that's a good idea. Number two, I don't think it's gonna stay anyway. So I guess number 1 and 2 are the same thing. I don't think it's gonna stay, which makes it a bad idea. All right, we'll send another 4 just to double check here. Again, I'm a newbie when it comes to traditional archery, but to me, it sounds really loud. This bow does. It almost sounds like something's rattling from time to time. I don't know what that may be, but I think it's also just, I think the string is pretty loud. So again, I'm curious to see what it sounds like once I get those string silencers on. Remember how I said I'm shooting really good? Just busted the knock off one of my arrows. Again, only 10 yards, but for trad bow, I'll take it. That'll do it though without the string silencers. We'll get those put on, show you guys how I'm gonna do that, and then we'll shoot some after the fact. All right, we're in the podcast room now. This is where we film our podcasts, and I'm gonna go over the supplies that I'm gonna use to add the string silencers on. Full disclaimer as well, I just wanted to mention again, I am not an expert, and I don't want this video to come off that I'm recommending this method or that I really know what I'm even doing. This is my first time adding silencers to a recurve bow. If you didn't catch last week's episode, I went over exactly what bow I bought and kind of my experience shooting it so far, some of the specs. This is going to be the first time putting string silencers on, so again, I just wanted to be transparent in that regard. This is a method that I saw online that I feel like is easy to do, also efficient and effective, and just wanted to try it out. So you're obviously going to need some yarn. This is going to be what we're going to make the silencer out of. This was like $5 at our local hobby store. They recommend having wool yarn. This is not wool, but we're gonna try this out. A clothes hanger, we're gonna wrap the yarn around this, and you actually need to cut the hanger. So if you don't have junk hangers laying around, you might not want to steal from your wife or from your girlfriend, so pick up a hanger. You can cut it with some pliers. So I got some pliers here. We're gonna need, obviously, some scissors to cut the yarn. I have my bow stringer here. I'm not gonna go over unstringing and then restringing the bow. I'm just gonna pop the string off and then show you guys, putting the silencers on and then pop the string back on, but we may save a video for another day with how I string it. And then a file for the hanger. Just after we cut it, there's probably gonna be some snags. We're just gonna try to smooth that out a little bit. So that's pretty much all you'll need, just a little bit of time. And then we'll head back out to the range and shoot this thing. All right, hopefully you guys can see here okay. I did get my string off the bow, so we're gonna set that off to the side here for a minute. First things first, we gotta cut this hanger down. I'm just gonna place a cut basically right here where I think they call that like a spaghetti strap, like on a girl's dress would go. We're gonna cut it kind of right above there and then just almost in the same spot down below here. See if we can get that done here quick. Set that off to the side. This is what you'll end up with here. And then I'm just gonna file it down a little bit. I don't even really have to do that, just to keep the yarn from getting kind of hung up on it. Okay. You're gonna wanna take your yarn then, and we're gonna wrap it around here. I think between 25 and 30 times. You probably can't go wrong, just depending on how thick you want your string silencer to be, but we're gonna go about 25 times. So you get it started on here, and we'll just wrap her 1, 2. Okay, there's 25. You can take your scissors then. We're gonna cut it, maybe. Boy, between my scissors and my pliers, rough spot. And then we're gonna take another little piece here, and we're gonna end up just kind of tying this around here, just to kind of tie this in place. Get you a little knot there. Like so. And then we'll just kind of trim the excess there from everything. Get those little hangers off there. Okay. And then this, kind of close the clothes hanger. I pull it tight and pop that off. That's going to be our silencer right there. We're going to end up cutting these loops once we have it in, but this is what we're going to slide in between our string. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make the other one. Same thing, same concept. So we'll go about 25 times, and we'll get the second one done here. Okay, same thing. Give her the old snip. End up tying this on here. Ideally, I want to try to get it in the middle there. I noticed on that one, I wasn't quite in the center. Get that tied tight, like so. And then same thing, trim off these little hangers, which you can probably do at the end once we're gonna be doing some trimming once it's already on the string, but we'll get that one off while we got it on here. Okay, same thing, I'm gonna pop it off, and there you go. That's our 2 silencers right there. So now we're just gonna put it on the string, or I should say in the string. Kind of set this off to the side here. I got my string. I'm gonna go about 9 inches down. There's really no set rule. I've heard between like 7 and 9. So from my pinky to my thumb is about 9 inches. So I'm gonna go from kind of the bottom of where like the string wrap is, about 9 inches, about right in here. And we're gonna split our string. This is where like a 2-colored string would come in handy. So you know about where half is. This is just the stock string that came on it, but we're gonna split that and weave our silencer in between here, and then kind of pull our string back tight. There's one in there, and I know some guys will tie it in with, you know, string serving. I'm not gonna do that unless I have issues, but you do have that option. So there's one, again, about 9 inches to the center. Then we're gonna come down here to the bottom of the string and do the same thing. About 9 inches right in there. I'm gonna pop that string open about halfway and pop our silencer in between there. Same thing, get that string back in place. And then from there, you're gonna pretty much just get it restrung, and I'm gonna snap the string a few times after we cut the loops. So once we get it on there, I'll show you guys this. Once we get it on there, we're gonna end up snipping these loops so it kind of flares out, and then we'll snap that bowstring a few times and kind of see what it does. All right, so we're gonna simply go in here now, like I said, and kind of cut these loops. Obviously, be careful not to cut your string. This is a little bit of a delicate process, but just find each one of those loops. If you have a better pair of scissors, you can probably cut them all at once, but these scissors are a little weak. You can go through and just get each one on both sides cut. Should be kind of flailed out like that. And if you miss one here or there, you just go back and trim them up. Same thing on this side. Okay. That was a little bit better there on my end. Okay. So it should look like that. Looks like I'm missing a couple here or there, but it's kind of just a big fluffy ball of yarn, all right? And then we'll do the same thing on the other side here. Flip her around. And we'll get the bottom loops cut. Like so. It's kind of fun, honestly. Okay. Both sides, all the loops. This one looks a little more wild than the other one, but that is gonna do it. I probably didn't cut them all in the same spot, which is why there's long ones and short ones. You're ideally gonna wanna cut them all probably in the same spot in the loop. We're gonna snap our string a few times though here, and this should get kind of real frayed out, and then we'll go shoot it. All right, same thing as earlier. We're gonna pop the quiver off here just to make sure the conditions are the same for the video. I know looks don't mean everything, but I really do like how these yarn silencers look. I always say look good, feel good, play good, or in this case, hunt good. So I like how they look, but we'll go ahead and get shooting here and see if it's any quieter. I don't know that it will be, but I wanted them on here anyway, so I think it'll definitely be a little quieter, but I guess I don't know that the camera will really be able to pick up on that, but we'll find out here. I take that back. That felt and sounded way quieter to me. Shooting it, way less vibration. Like I'm actually really shocked. I was skeptical and I thought I was gonna be finishing this video saying it's not that big of a difference. That to me made a huge difference. I hope the camera will pick up on that. We'll shoot the other three here and see if anything changes. That was like a big difference. Yeah. I don't know how well these are gonna hold up. I also was kind of hasteful when I was cutting the loops. I didn't really cut them all at like the same spot. So there's some longer, some shorter strands of yarn, which I don't love, but I'll probably either A, get a new string before the season, or B, redo them. But it's definitely helping, like big time. Shoot that last one here, and then I may get some over the shoulder shots and see if we can get a better look at them. Sweet. I don't want to say like I didn't expect it at all. I know I kind of said both things there at the beginning. I said that I thought it for sure would be quieter, and then I said I was like very surprised. I guess I just didn't really know what to expect, honestly. I could have seen it going either way. I thought maybe it would make a difference, but like I said, not enough to really like mean anything. But that was like, to me, the difference of potentially a deer like ducking the string. And I know with the recurve, you're gonna be shooting close enough where that shouldn't be an issue, but like that's the difference. Like I'm stoked. I'm really stoked. So I guess to tie a bow on this whole thing, you need string silencers for sure if you're shooting any bow, but specifically in this situation, a recurve. That method was so easy. I mean, it cost me $5 to buy the yarn, and then everything else I had laying around the house. You'll need a bowstringer to take your string off, obviously, which I may make a video on at a later date, but that was like way too easy. So I hope that helps somebody that's in the same position I'm in, and is getting into this, because I am beyond thrilled, if you can't tell through the video. So I guess to tie a bow on the whole thing, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope that helps someone, like I said, and I'm gonna keep shooting out here, number one, because I need the practice, and number two, because it's really fun when like you try a project for the first time like I just did, and you see the results. And then you realize, just like a lot of things in life, that sometimes you just have to take the first step and dive head first, and before you know it, you look back. You know, for me, a handful of months ago when I picked this thing up and had no clue what I was doing, now I'm sitting here busting knocks off like I did last night, and then yeah, putting a string silencer on. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.